Hi, and welcome to the Changemaker Leader podcast. I'm Leigh Mitchell, and I'm joined with my dear friends Kim and Linda from My Creative Break. And today we're discussing why it's so important to meet ambitious women in person. We'll talk about, why we should get out of our house and what happens, and we'll talk about our upcoming event as well. So, without further ado, welcome Kim and Linda. Kim, why don't you start us off by telling us why we should be meeting in person? Why does it matter?
Yeah. Well, first of all, getting out of your house does you so much good, especially if you've been and they're all gay. It's important to change environments sometimes.
Mm,
And secondly, just being around like-minded people does so much good, right? Not only are you gonna learn new things, you'll also feel good just to know that you're not the only one going through what you are going through.
mhm.
And it just adds to the experience as a whole.
Yeah, the bottom line is that, no matter what you're trying to take on, if you're not getting out and actually meeting face to face with people, it's really hard to build a meaningful relationship. There's a lot of studies around the importance of the connection that happens face to face. It not only do we get to know each other in a more meaningful and important and productive way. We don't have to worry about technology failing us, like, for example, on this live, right? We had to try a few times to get this going. So when we're in person in a room together, we're able to limit distractions. We're able to have more impactful conversations. And, we're releasing incredible endorphins by, the oxytocin going off in the room, which is those feel good hormones. They're on overdrive when you get a bunch of women together. So, what do you think, Linda? Tell me, when was the last time you met in person with a room filled with women, and what happened?
Oh yes. Thank you. But I try to go now more often and made it one of my let's say like yeah, just like goals for this year to not only like attend, we do our own events, but like going to other women's events as well.
Mm,
So for instance, last week I went to it was this was the International Day, Women's Day,
mhm.
and there was a coding event. To for women to try to do the web an app or learning about to make an app. But that was so good. Like we were maybe more than 50 women in a room. Everybody had their projects, their dreams, their goals, and sitting around and just kind of like connecting and looking over like, oh, who's working on what, and sharing also like, okay, what just learning a little bit about them, and that we're all in this together. It
Mhm.
was incredible. Like we were inspired. Like I think everybody that was out of the house, like and working on their ideas, and they felt uplifted. I feel like just being in the same room, like Kim said, like-minded people, but there's something that happens in the room, like you said, this just like these vibes. All everyone just there for the same thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you will realize like we do have the same challenges. Sometimes we've been working on something by ourselves, and we're just like, oh, this doesn't work. But just by sharing and seeing others doing the same thing, suddenly like everything opens up. So that was incredible.
Oh, that sounds great, and it sounds like you probably had, not only did you accomplish, a new project, but you probably made new friends. And, I know, in the last 2 years since getting back into the networking, game, right? Meaning that, I call it a game because, I think that when you get out there and you experiment and you see what resonates, with people. I'm in the event business, you're in the event business. You try different techniques. I know that, that both of you have some really cool icebreakers. You're playing games, you're doing fun things. It just sort of takes the pressure off of those awkward first steps of getting to know someone. And after the pandemic, I think that we went through this almost shy period where we're like, who are we? Who am I to other fellow entrepreneurs? You feel nervous and maybe a little uncomfortable meeting in person, but once you create an environment where people can be at ease, which I know all three of us really make a point of doing, you walk away with these new beautiful friendships that are blossoming. I know that in the last couple of years, I've met like a couple of people who have become extremely close friends, and you both included. Like, we really get each other. We know what it's like to be event planners. We know what it's like to be in a situation where you have something of value for people, and you have that stress of people like not being able to commit to something until the last minute, and you're like, is this going to even work out? And so the fact that we met live at an event, we met at the LinkedIn local event. That was our first time meeting. We really hit it off, and then you came to another. I went to your event the very next day,
Yes.
and then a few months later, you were a speaker at our Changemaker Leader Retreat. And so, now I feel like, we know each other inside out. I don't know if that would have been possible had we not met in person and did fun things together and got to know each other in a more meaningful way. I think sometimes when we're on Zoom meetings, we're slightly disengaged because we might be multitasking, or we don't have our cameras on. There's technical issues like we talked about. So I think we need to prioritize meeting in person. So what do we have in store for Tuesday for this upcoming event that we're doing together, and why is this particular event so important?
Yes, so we have an event coming up that's called Connect and Shine. It's a networking event for women, like women entrepreneurs, women leaders, women in business, or women in general. And what Linda and I do at My Creative Break is that we bring kind of a magic touch to our events. So they're really unique. We really focus on helping people connect, but in a fun way. So at this event, everybody's going to get to know each other. It's called Connect and Shine. So we're going to connect, and we're going to find out exactly what makes everyone shine so that everybody leaves feeling good, right?
I love
So we
that.
have so we have a lot of like activities planned. We have connection games planned where people can really get to know each other, talk about what they're going through, any challenges, and just really feel seen and supported.
Yes, but also let's add that we also have speakers who can learn from their journey, and they also will share some wonderful things with us. So we have two speakers, including Leigh here, who will be joining us. So we have also Maggie Rojano that's going to be with us, and both of them will be sharing, very specific topic. And I think I'll let Leigh maybe say a few words on what she's going to be sharing. But you're going to leave the event, with learning something, being uplifted, and knowing, new, different women who are also have goals and dreams, and also like want to feel supported. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be nice to meet new people. So yeah, I'll let you lead to just like maybe give us a little, just a little something about like what you'll be talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to do that. So, as an educator and a entrepreneur for over 15 years, I have been working with university students, postgraduate students, and entrepreneurs. And the one common theme that I find with entrepreneurs and leaders is that their brand needs to grow as they grow and change and evolve. And so there you'll hear a funny analogy around how lobsters shed their shells. They literally grow out of their shells. And so I'm going to talk about, ways in which you can shed that shell comfortably. I'm also going to talk about how you can brand yourself with your true DNA. That is the unique skills and talents that you possess. And also in a way that doesn't burn you out or make you feel uncomfortable or not your authentic self. Because, I've been there before. I've tried to be this, you know, a certain type of persona of who I thought I should be, but not really authentic. And then when I went to like project, you know, at an event, public speak, etc., I found it really difficult. It just wasn't natural. And so, once you find your unique style that works for you, and it doesn't have to be public speaking, it could be in the written form or in podcasting. Once you hone in on the tools that work best for you, then you will flourish. And so everyone who will be attending the event will take away those tips and tricks that I will be sharing. I also have a workbook and the complete training available for participants, no strings attached. So they'll get that. And I know that the guest speaker that you have coming, it has done a TED Talks and will be sharing techniques around, what she learned from doing TED Talks. So I think that, between listening to myself and the other guest speaker, coupled with the activities that we're going to be doing at this event, I think everyone's going to be walking away with like so much value. So thank you so much for everyone for joining. Any last words of wisdom for those that are listening on the podcast and where they can find you, just in general, so that this stays evergreen, that it's available and accessible beyond the event? Because obviously I know that you're doing many amazing things, not just on Tuesday, but throughout the year. So tell us a little bit more about your business, your offerings, and where to find you.
Yeah, we are My Creative Break, and you can find us at mycreativebreak.com or any social media, really. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Just type at My Creative Break and we'll pop up. And we do unique events where we are a team building company. We work with corporations and we develop customized team building workshops for groups, companies, communities. And as well, we do unique events. So like the one we have coming up for women entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs in general, for professionals in general, and as well for social, so people can make new friends. And everything has the special My Creative Break twist to it, in which way we really make connecting fun activity instead of like something that feels like a chore.
Fantastic. And Linda, maybe you can tell us a bit about your book that I've read and I found like it has so many great tips to get to know yourself in a creative way. So maybe you could share a little bit about your book and where to find it.
Yes, definitely. We have the book, and I think Kim has it real near her. Okay. Um, so this is our book, and Kim, if you just can share quickly, because like I can't really see, but like it's really about creativity and making sure like that you think you're creative, but think again, so we share a little bit about our journey. We share also about like techniques to be more creative, and sometimes we think about creativity about being artistic and everything, but we all have creativity inside of us. So there are some cool exercises in there, so you can kind of like find time sometimes just like to work on your creativity, finding that spark. And sometimes it really sparks something else. Like for us, it's part of our journey. It's part of a story. You can read it as well, but it inspired us to do a lot of things, not only just like in terms of creativity, but even building our own business. So all of that, sometimes it just starts with a little spark and working daily, a little bit of making that time to be creative. So, and you can find it on our website or on Amazon. Actually, it is on Amazon. So, yes.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for joining us, everyone. And if you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment, and join us on Tuesday for our networking event with a twist for women entrepreneurs and leaders. Yours truly will be speaking, and check out the My Creative website, My Creative Break website for future events and to get the book. Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.